8 months ago, my sheriff asked me to be his public information officer, a position I knew nothing about. But me being me, I just said, yes, sir. It is my great honor to work for Sheriff Bobby J. Guidroz, and my jurisdictional authority covers the parish I live in, as represented by the badge I wear. But my sacred oath is to serve and protect all American citizens, to represent the United States Constitution and the righteous principles it represents, and to stand for the rights established by that Constitution for all my brethren, regardless of color or creed, social background, economic standing, or political affiliation. Serve and protect. That's a phrase you graduating officers will hear many times in your career. I'd like to share with you some thoughts, if I may, about what that phrase really means. Unlike any other, your job began with an oath, a sacred oath, sworn by men and women of courage and character for generations before you. You officers are set to begin your career at a time in our country that witnesses a division between the badge you wear and the citizens you've sworn to serve and protect. The way you and graduating officers across the country uphold your oath will determine the future of law enforcement in America. Today, as a gift from me, you will each receive a copy of the United States Constitution. I implore you to read it, meditate on the words themselves and the spirit behind them. The principles behind that sacred document will serve you well. Touched by God, the rights established by our Constitution represent the very best the world has ever achieved. And it's your job to see that those rights are protected. Serve and protect. The duty behind that phrase begins with the oath you've sworn, with a clear understanding that the foundational mission is to serve and protect the citizens you represent, and to serve and protect the rights and principles that your badge represents. Most of you will go straight to patrol. The patrol division of any department is the point of the spear. You'll roll your streets without glory, exposed to great danger, frequently unseen, usually unheard, sometimes unappreciated, and always underpaid. So, ask yourself, begin each day from bended knee, and ask your own heart, what drives me to wear the badge? As you search your own heart before each shift, if your conscience is clear, if your willingness to venture once more into the fray is founded by righteous service for the citizens you've sworn to serve and protect, if you're prepared to observe unwavering the constitutional principles that your badge represents, then get up, gear up, mount up, and roll out. Hit your streets with confidence and courage, intent to deliver respectful, compassionate police protection, dedicated to investigate and arrest with utmost professionalism, always with an eye to the rights of those you serve, always with a clear memory of the badges that have come before you, ever conscious of the sacred duty you've sworn to perform, with constant prayer upon your lip that if this day is to be your last, let your actions be courageous, your aim true, your jaw set, your spirit at ease, and your heart without malice. So help you God. As you perform those duties, I ask you to put yourself above no man. None of us can claim to be without fault. All of us here today have made great mistakes in the course of our life. Each of us continue to struggle with our own faults, our own weaknesses, our own demons. Someone asked me recently, did I have a skeleton in my closet? I said, no, sir, but I got a graveyard in there. It's a big closet. I've spent 54 years becoming the man that stands before you today. All of us fall in life, but a man's character should not be measured by how he falls. It should be measured by how he stands back up. The criminals you will arrest, and I've arrested a couple of thousand, are not necessarily bad people. They've made bad choices, criminal choices. But every man and woman you'll ever arrest has one thing in common: the redemptive power of their own spirit. Jail need not be the end of the line for a man. It can be the beginning of a life renewed. The citizens you'll arrest during your career will frequently come from a challenging background. Many will be poor. Most will have grown up in dangerous neighborhoods without proper guidance and counsel, and without the benefit of a strong family, the kind of family that's with you here today. Many will be poorly educated, and most will feel trapped in the horrible world of drugs and petty crime. Ask yourself, look into your own heart and ponder, what sort of a person would you have become if your life had been like that? There are exceptions, of course. Some people are able to arise from poverty and the crime-ridden neighborhoods of their youth and grow to become wonderful, productive citizens. I'm not suggesting that criminals are victims. Men don't break into homes or commit armed robberies because their daddy didn't hug them enough. They do so because they've given up on life, given up on the dreams of their youth. None of us here today buy into the modern concept of mass victimization. Yet, in your own heart and mind, there should be consideration for the life your fellow man has endured. There should be room for intellectual understanding of the very real circumstances that many people who find themselves crossed with the law have suffered. And therein lies compassion. I ask that with every single citizen you arrest, that you allow room in your heart for mercy and faith in your God for the redemptive nature of the human spirit. Make a positive difference in that man's life by showing kindness, by representing goodness, by sharing human compassion, by being slow to anger, and by careful observation of their rights as established by our Constitution. If you're able to embrace these things, if you're willing to perform to these standards, you'll accomplish more than a very successful career. You'll have brought honor and dignity to badges from sea to shining sea. You'll have represented the very highest standards of American law enforcement. And you'll have added to the eternal strength of the United States Constitution that you've sworn to uphold.